Welcome back to Front Street. We got another episode here. I'm your co-host, John Labrada, and this is...
Mr. Molina, a.k.a. Jaime, a.k.a. The Man. And we have a special guest. This is Mr. Molina.
This is where you introduce yourself.
I'm Mr. Molina. I teach audiovisual production, graphic design, and I am also the creator of Beatport Podcasts.
Word.
Let's give a little bit of a... for making this all possible.
He is the wizard of the Wizard of Oz. He is the man behind the camera.
I edit.
Yeah.
I can do a close-up of G, close-up of the man,
Whoa, this is so cool.
close-up of me. We can also do black and white.
Whoa, we've never done black and white.
And we can fade to black, so we can just hear voices.
And now we're back here.
And now we're back.
Did you miss me?
Say what you just told us a minute ago.
Yeah.
Oh,
So wait. Let's do a little. So yeah, Molina's a teacher here. This is your second year?
this is second year.
Second year doing this?
Mm-hmm.
Getting better? Do you feel more comfortable?
I feel more confident.
Oh, that's good. You gotta have confidence in teaching
Yes.
world. So you before this you were a car salesman? What did you do?
No, actually I did.
Did you really? That's so dope.
I did sell cars for a couple months.
Yeah, it's a horrible job.
It is.
People who do it hate it. Yeah.
Yeah. No, like I said earlier, I've been doing television and film for the past 20 plus years, and this is my first time actually being in front of the camera.
Yeah.
So they finally found out who's behind all the magic.
That's
Yeah,
right.
basically.
That's right.
Man right here.
Real quick before we get to the questions, talk to me about that. What do you mean by television and film? What are some of the things that you've like worked on? What's your degree background? All that good stuff.
I started television in high school.
That's dope.
When I was it ninth grade? Is it freshman?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm from Canada. We don't have those terminology.
You do like year 9.
Yeah, 9. Well,
Do they give you maple syrup for breakfast in Canada?
That's so funny.
I would actually go to school, and our English teacher would take us out to the back where the park was
To do actual maple syruping things?
to drill on a tree.
You are kidding me. Are you serious?
I'm serious.
Wow, that's dope.
So they had this little, I don't know what you call it, but you hammer it into the, it's like a kit.
Yeah.
For like,
I watched a TikTok about it like 2 days ago.
That's so funny.
you nail it in, and there's like a little bucket, and you just leave it there. You just make
And it
drips down. Yeah.
that's dope. So year 9, you were doing film stuff at the school?
We had a program called Co-op program, and I didn't know what to do. They took us to the gym, and they had like different little tables with careers to pick, and there was nothing left. So it was.
So good.
The very end of the table, there was a producer from a station called Rogers Television, and I go up to him and introduce myself, and I said, I'll try this out.
Yeah.
See what happens.
So you didn't really choose the film life.
No.
It shows you.
It chose me.
How?
That's so dope. That's
Yeah.
so dope. That's so dope.
You had 25
Lack
years.
of options, that's what it was. So I introduced myself, and he introduces me to what they have, and then he said, so half the day I would go to the TV station.
Right.
And
Just do random stuff.
just random stuff, and I liked it.
Yeah.
And I got really good at it until when I was 15, they actually hired me full time.
Really?
Ooh. Wow. Hey, I'm not saying that's a flex, but
That's kind of a flex. 15-year-old that works at a TV station. So it's like your traditional like news broadcast, like whatever.
Well, it started because the TV station was like a community TV. So it's just
okay, I got you.
So that's where I got my experience on as a camera operator and as a director.
Okay, that's cool. Way back in the day, Angleton used to have their own like broadcast, like community broadcast. It was not good. No hate if you watch this, if you're a part of it, but it was not. But they would do like, they would have like the local sports guy do like an update on the sports, or they would do like, well, the Catholic Church is doing the bazaar, so here's Father blah 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 to talk about the bazaar, and then it'd be like some other priest would be like, we're having a bazaar. It was not good.
Okay.
It was not good at all. Yeah. That's cool that led to like you working in this.
Yeah, and you know, and it's funny because once I got my experience and I graduated high school,
Yeah.
I had to go to college for it,
Yeah.
and I already knew all that stuff.
Oh,
So
jeez, you're like, professor, that's actually not called that. It's called this.
yeah, well, I mean,
the light's actually supposed to be green.
That's
I'm not sure if it's
That's so good.
but television was one thing, and then
Right.
I went into the Academy of Design and Technology to do digital film production,
Okay, cool.
and it was digital film, film and film psychology.
Okay,
So
that's
it was-
pretty cool.
Yeah, and editing, it was part of it.
That's pretty dope.
Yeah.
That's pretty dope.
That it sounds so professional.
I will tell, if you're watching this, we are going to have a film that he's editing,
Yes.
that he's directing, that he's filming along with other people that are helping out.
Yes.
But G's in it. Not as you're in the background on one of those things, right? I'm in it. There's a number of different. It's going to be what we've seen. Top tier.
It's top tier.
Top tier. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you're still filming it right now, right?
Yes. It's funny because it takes me back because I've always wanted to be a filmmaker.
Right.
That's like one of my dreams, to just be a filmmaker, and I couldn't do it. So then my wife said, "Why don't you teach what you know?" Now I'm here. I mean, it's a longer story than that, but
Right.
Nice.
This is the longest introduction to a
No, I know we had.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's all good. It's all good.
You
No,
have
this is
the
good
most
information. It's good.
Professional resume so far.
Yeah, 100%. Well, no, I mean, Jenna she's had like 10 years of nursing experience, but
Yeah, they had 25 years of film and
that's
production.
true. That's true. He's met Freddie
Film
Krueger.
psychology? I don't even know what that means.
It's probably, I'm assuming, like how films like influence and what you like looking into it, what it does to you.
we go from color spectrums in film, why colors are used the way they are, why angles are
that's
used
so
the way they
good.
are, and what is the
Jeez, that's
scene
dope.
telling you,
Right.
and
How it makes you,
also-
yeah.
yeah,
Why am I raising my hand?
all that stuff.
You're raising your hand.
I'm around teachers, I guess. I'm like this. Anyways,
That's
I know that in scary movies, they use something called white noise to
Yeah.
just fill the air.
Right.
But there's actually nothing there, and it just makes you feel intense.
Right. Can I tell you, I think I've told you this, I don't know. My absolute favorite class I ever took in college for history was called Real America, where it looked at the film history of America and how it influenced or how it like represented history. We went from like old school Nickelodeon movie, like silent films that were just like all the way to like modern Apocalypse Now. The intro into Apocalypse Now is one of the like weirdest but like most intriguing like intros to a movie ever. It's so cool. We also watched Birth of a Nation in that show, in that movie, or in that class, which if you don't know what Birth of a Nation is, it literally is what gave the KKK their ability to be the KKK. It was a propaganda film for the KKK where they came and saved the South. It was the most horrible thing I've ever seen, but also the most intriguing thing. Like I've never been more mesmerized by watching a movie. I was just like, this is great. It was so good. You can't even get the film, fam, because the only people that sell it now are like Nazi groups. And so if you go and buy it, you're on an FBI like watch list. You can't even go buy it, dude.
That's so cool.
It was shown in the White House in the 40s, fam.
That's crazy.
It was crazy. But man, it was a silent film. Boy, was it good.
Was there like a special appearance by the KKK?
No, they were like at the end of the movie, like literally there's a scene where like the KKK are on horseback showing up to the South to like save the white culture. It was wild, but man, was it good. It was my favorite class. We saw so much film. Man, it was good. We're way off topic.
Way off topic.
It's all right. We're going to answer our questions here. This is going to be an hour-long episode. It's not. Don't make it an hour-long episode. Or do it, man. Whatever. We're out here in these streets, in Front Street. Okay. So we have a couple questions we're going to ask you. Like we do normally, you will go first, Mr. Molina, since you're the guest. One of these questions has nothing to do with G. I'm just going to be
It has
honest.
something to do with G.
Well, if they have something to do with G, go ahead and say it in Front Street if you want to have that conversation. Let me go ahead and ask the question.
The flip side to the question.
Ready for the question that might have something to do with G, Ninez? Molina, you're a new dad. What's dad? What is it like being a dad? Like, what is That thing, if you had to tell anybody, like, what's it like? What is it like?
I don't know.
That's a good answer.
Yeah. Well, you know, as you know, I have a son. He's 2 months, 4 days.
Right.
Here's a picture. Okay, so
He's adorable, He's adorable, dude. That's good.
That's so cool.
So, I look at my wife, and then we talk to each other as I'm holding the baby, and I told her the other day, I cannot picture my life without him.
That is such a good answer. That is such a good answer.
I see my life now.
Right.
Which, by the way, if you're gonna have a baby, those of you who are thinking about it, okay, have it at the right time.
Oh, 1,000,000%.
That way you can enjoy your baby better.
And I'll also add, there's never really a right time. You're never really prepared. You are never really ever prepared for having a child. But there is, I think, a better moment than there are. There's some definitely times where it's just like, this is gonna be hard.
Yeah.
And harder than it needs to be.
Oh, and I'm gonna tell you this.
Go ahead.
I was so scared whenever my wife told me that she was pregnant.
Yeah.
And I was so scared whenever we went to the hospital and had the baby.
Right.
And when we brought him home, I was petrified because I don't know how to do it.
Right.
We're going on 2 months, and I feel like I'm really good at it.
That's dope.
Without even trying.
Right.
It just comes out.
It is, yeah.
It's a natural instinct.
It's a natural instinct.
It is a natural instinct.
But
Not that I would know.
I am enjoying life with him.
Right.
I don't sleep. But you know what? I don't care.
Right. That's dope.
Yeah, it's like a different kind of love. Just when you think your love for your spouse, your partner is right here, once you have your baby,
It's different.
it's completely different.
Can we get a little awe in the chat?
100%.
Different.
100%.
But I love being a dad.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
You know how like memories for some people are like pictures, and then for some people memories are like a full movie. I have a movie in my head of, I'm gonna cry, of both kids. I remember, like, there's so much vivid detail that I remember about it that I don't remember a lot of things about everything. I know like picture snapshots of things, but there is very important details that I remember of both of the kids being born. I cannot explain what he's saying on like loving something. You've never loved anything more. It's a different type of love that it's hard to explain when you have a child. And I know I had a life before JP and before Joaquin. I know I did, but it is not the same. It's not the same. As a dad, one of my biggest fears is something happening to my kids. This is gonna sound even worse. Rosanna, I hope you don't watch this and you see this and you're gonna hate me. I can not envision, but I know that I could do it. This is gonna sound bad.
I'll say it.
I can live life without my wife, and it would suck. I don't know if I could live life without my kids.
I agree.
Like, I don't know if I would be able to exist properly without my two sons. Does that make sense?
Yes.
I know it sounds weird, but just it makes sense. But no, I have, like, there's a movie in my head of when JP was born and when Joaquin was born. And having the second kid is a different sensation than having the first kid. I was petrified when we were having JP. I had no idea I was 23 years old. No idea what I was doing. Let me tell you the biggest difference between both children. Both of them were a little bit preemie. Rosanna had way more issues with Joaquin. So the reason why we don't have a third kid is because Rosanna's pregnancy was horrible. Joaquin was born with the cord around his neck and he was not breathing. I did not panic because I trusted our doctor and Rosanna trusted our doctor. For whatever reason, my mother-in-law was in there with us and she was like losing it. And I'm like, he's a professional. He knows what he's doing. Leave him alone.
Yeah.
I was like, babe, he's going to be fine. She's like, he's going to be fine. Doctor did his work. Joaquin started crying. We're like, oh, good. He's fine. It was great. Man, it is a different sensation having a kid.
Yeah, my movie is different. My movie goes forward because when my baby was born, you know how you have those flashbacks in movies?
Yeah.
Well, that's what happened. As soon as I heard that first cry, I immediately went to like my house, raising.
Oh, that's dope. No, mine's that's different. That's a different sensation.
Teaching him to walk.
Yeah.
Spoiling the kid.
Right. It's a different. My movie's not like flash forward. It's like, it's gonna sound stupid, but documentary style. It feels like there's a camera on my shoulder. Like I see it from a shoulder perspective, not from my eyes. If that sounds weird, but like I remember the little bitty weird details about things that you don't think about. I remember little details about having both kids. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like I said, it's forward for me. It's just like teaching him to walk, teaching him to talk, feeding him, teaching him all the stuff that I know, and taking him to school.
Yeah.
All that kind of stuff. Just real quick.
The film background really kicked in.
The what?
That film background.
Yeah.
Really kicked out.
You know what's wild to me, and you're gonna make this is gonna make sense. Is as now that I'm in my 40s, I have a kid in college and I have a kid here in high school. Fucking, I keep thinking about like, am I doing this right? I've never not had a moment since being a dad to like in my head I'm like, am I doing this right? Am I good? I have no idea. I think I'm doing a good job, but I don't know. Who's the determining factor on that, right?
Yeah.
But that's, as a dad, as a parent, my biggest concern is like, am I doing this right? Am I doing right by them? You know how like people are like, I want to make my dad proud. You know what I mean? People have that sensation. Mine is the opposite. My thought process is, are my kids proud of me?
Yeah.
I want them to be proud of my dad ability, like my fathering ability. So I think all the time, like, man, did I screw this up? Is this the right moment to have this talk? Am I doing this the right way? Am I presenting it the right way? That's a constant in my head what happens as being a dad. All the time. It's so wild.
It's true.
Having a kid is the wildest experience.
It's true.
First off, a baby's being developed in a human. They're a parasite, fam. I said what I said. But like, the whole concept of it, dude, like from birth to like them leaving the house, it's wild.
Yep.
And it happens like that.
Yeah.
Like that, you go from like screaming baby with like gunk all over them when they're born, to like dropping off in their apartment and not knowing how to feel about it. It happens in a flash.
Yep.
Your mom will say this, like, I can't believe you're in graduation. I can't believe you're graduating. It happens so quick, dude.
Oh yeah.
I've been having more and more conversations like that with my mom.
Because what?
At the dinner table, she was talking about when I was a baby, I had a very specific way of eating my food. She said I would drink a little sip, then eat some food, then wipe my mouth, and do that rotation.
Right.
And she was sitting there, she was like, I was like, what are you doing, Mom? She was staring at me, looking at that I was doing something wrong. I just stopped eating. She was like, you're an adult. And I was like, yeah, that usually happens with time. But like, I didn't think about it.
Right. It's a big deal.
That's crazy.
So like, from birth to 2 months, 6 days, you said? There's already drastic changes.
Oh yeah.
It's crazy how it happens. It's so crazy.
Like me being here at work,
right?
I'm missing a lot.
Yep.
The first week after I came back from the hospital and I had to come back to work, I have a door right there, right?
Right.
I walk into the door 6:30 in the morning. I close it and I lean on the door. I don't want to be here.
Right.
I want to go home.
100%.
Because I don't want to be here.
Right. Because you missed a day at work time literally can be the difference between not being able to eat 2 ounces of formula or milk to eating 2 ounces. Like that. Yeah. And then the 2 ounces turn into 4 ounces, then turns to 6. Like, it's so fast. It goes so fast. It's ridiculous. From your perspective, I'm assuming I know you don't see it that way.
Yeah.
But you were just saying that you're having moments right now where your mom is like, I remember when this, I remember when that. Right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And he's starting to smile, so when I get home from work, my mother-in-law is taking care of him right now.
Right.
I get home and he's up. He's still a little baby. But he sees me, he starts smiling.
Yeah. Boy, it's like
I quit
putty, fam. You turn into straight goo.
Yeah.
You can't. It's wild to like, yeah.
Yeah.
Even little things. The first time the kids say like I love you or the daddy. Boy, you're like, bro, you're like in tears, fam. Like he loves me. It happens.
That's so wild.
Yeah,
that's wild.
Do you ever think about being a dad? I mean, you're a kid still, but like...
No, I was thinking about it. I was like...
You're going to say it closer to the mic.
Yeah, I will, obviously. No, I was thinking, like, I don't know what... I think it's like how you were saying. I don't know if I would do it right.
Right.
I feel like... I think I would get it.
Right.
But I feel like I would always have that... am I living up to a certain expectation?
Right.
Are my parents going to, like... help me out and like I don't know.
Yeah.
Help me out in the sense of this is how you raise your kid, this is how you do that.
Right.
Like moral standards, I don't know. I feel like I would be the fun dad. I don't think I would I don't think I could ever hit a kid.
Right.
I don't think I'd be like, hey, but like I don't know. I feel like I'd be the one to you know
can I
let them do what they need to get it out of their system.
I don't think enough conversation happens. God, this is such a dude-heavy podcast. I don't think enough dads conversate with their younger people, like your age, right? Mm-hmm. I've never had a conversation with JP about being a dad, but I wish we had more conversations because, like, you don't know what you're doing. The assumption is that the girl's gonna take care of all of it. You just have to be the support. No, bullcrap. I think to do this right, to be a good dad, you got to get elbow deep in poop. You know what I mean? Like you got to get vomited on. There's parts of those things that I think, as Hispanic people, I think traditionally it's like, well, no, the dad has to go work, so the mom takes care of all. No, those days are gone. Yeah. Like when the kids were small, I was the vomit person because my wife could not stomach vomit, and every time the kid threw up, she would wake me up and be like, "Hey, your job. Tag in. I'm it. I gotta do it because I could deal with the smells. Whatever, it's just my thing."
Yeah.
I didn't do poop well, but I had to when I had to. But like you learn roles, you learn how to like be a good partner in that relationship because if the mentality is, well, I'm just the provider, I don't have to do the crap, you're gonna miss out on so much. Yeah. You're gonna miss out on so much. And I think that a lot of times boys have resentment towards their dads because they weren't there. Yeah. Does that make sense? Yeah. Like you want to be an active member of the rearing and the bringing up of these kids because I think, in my personal opinion, I am the person who I am because my dad was there, right? And we've had this conversation. Like, yes, my dad died when I was a freshman, but I remember those 15 years very vividly, and it's very important that I uphold what he started. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I think that more men should be having these conversations with their younger generation to be like, this is how you do this right. This is how you help and be like continue to raise like good, productive men in society. Mm-hmm. Because if we don't have that, like there are consequences to not having positive male role models in your life. There are consequences to it. And we have to have those conversations. It's so important.
Yeah, it was so important. Just recently that I started coming home to like actually see my dad. Now he never left us. No, don't get anything wrong, but he was always working.
Right.
And he was a journeyman, like an electrician. Yeah. So he would move a lot. Yeah. And so most of my childhood, I didn't even think about it until he started talking about it. But most of my childhood, he wasn't really there. Right. And I didn't see it as anything different because that's what I knew, but I do remember like every 2 weeks, maybe he'd come for a weekend because he was literally in a different state. And I remember seeing him and I'd be like, oh, that's my dad. That's so cool. I'd get to see him. And then he would leave and I'd be like, okay, sooner or later. But like, now that I think about it, I think it was only because of the way I was brought up that I didn't see it as a problem. I don't have any resentment towards my dad. Right. You understood. I understood. Like immediately from a very young age. My mom was telling me, he's working for you. He's doing this. He's doing this. Right. Okay, cool. That's awesome. But I never really grew up around people that had like dads always there. Right. So in the valley, most of the dads are out.
They're always working.
Yeah. So my friends would only have their moms home and this and that. And now that I'm like coming home to a dad, it's
pretty cool.
It's like a cool experience. Like I feel like it was the first month that my dad was actually staying with us, and this was like like 6th grade. 6th grade, he would come he would work night shift. So it wasn't until like 7th or 8th grade that I started coming home and he was still there. Yeah. That the first month was like the longest month because it was so weird to me
to have him there.
Dad.
Yeah, yeah.
And now that we've been living together for a while, I'm like, what am I gonna do when he leaves? You know what I mean? Like when I leave, when I'm not there, my dad's there. He helps me out. Like if I have something in life, I'll be like, hey, Dad, you know. Yeah. And he'll help me out, but I don't know. That's very
Yeah.
interesting to think about.
Yeah, I think, dude, legit. Anytime you have a question, ask me. I will give you all the information I got.
Appreciate it.
Because we need to do a better job. I think. Well, you too. If you have any questions, I'm here. You get one get out of jail free card. One. You get one. After that, you're on your own.
Fine.
You get one too. Nana gets a get out of jail free card. I want to let people get out of jail free cards. I mean, like, if you need me to help you out, I'll do it one time. I actually had a kid recently text me and was like, "Hey man, can you cash at me $30?" I was like, "What's up?" And he was like, "I got to pay my it was something that he was just behind on. He was a student like 3 or 4 years ago." I was like, "Yeah, I got you." He was like, "Are you serious?" I was like, "I told you to get one, fam. Don't ask me again. Not getting you anymore." All right, we can talk about that stuff all day.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so we're gonna switch topics. You want to do the immigration one last? Or you want to do it next?
Let's do that one last.
Okay. Passion. What's something that you are? This is gonna be so different because we're at completely different ages. But what is something that you're passionate about? This?
Yeah. Everything I've talked about.
Yeah.
Film.
Yeah.
Television. That's why I'm doing it.
Yeah.
Because I love it. And just real quick, when I started last year during COVID, we started virtual,
Right.
not knowing how to do teaching. At the end of the first semester, I wanted to quit
Really?
because I didn't think I was going to last.
That's
Because
interesting.
it was so much work. I actually caught up with my work during second semester from all the stuff. And I said, this is difficult.
Right.
And I'm coming from television and film,
Right.
where you're out 20-hour days.
Dang.
And this is difficult.
Yeah.
I don't know how to do this. And I wanted to quit.
Yeah.
I talked to my wife and I said, I don't think I can do it. And she says, is it your passion? And I said, yes. You're not gonna quit.
It's true.
If it's your passion drives you to be successful.
100%.
If because I talk to my kids, what is your passion? And they tell me.
Right.
Some of them want to be graphic designers.
Right.
What are you doing about it?
Oh, 100.
You have the computer right in front of your face.
Do it.
Do it. You are the one that stops you from having a better life. So I love this. Coming to work, I don't consider it work. Paperwork, I consider work.
Right. Grades
Grades.
work.
I'm really bad at grading.
I have two, fam.
So when you have a passion, you're not going to consider it work. I promise you.
Right.
Because being in front of the camera and everybody,
Yeah.
I don't do it.
Right.
This is my first time.
Right.
But it's not going to stop me from trying it again.
Right. I got
So
you.
it's just, passion is I don't know. This is my passion. Film
Yeah.
and television is my passion, and I'm going to pursue it
To the nth
to
degree.
the end.
Did you know what your passion was when you were growing up, or was it just because
What a
that
great
day
question.
that they were just all gone and you had to pick that film spot?
I don't remember having anything, because at the time, when you were in ninth grade, you still try to find yourself.
Right.
I had like little things about being an architect or even being a musician, because I play drums. So I was like, man, I want to play in a band,
Right.
or I want to be an architect. But the architect, it was just like a thing.
A far off thing.
Yeah. So I had no idea. And then I was forced to approach that table. And I guess that gave me the push. I can't even say it was the guy.
Right.
He's like, no, I'll take you to where I work and I'll show you some stuff. But then he disappears. So I just had to learn on my own.
Right.
But if I wasn't pushed to that table, I don't know what I would be doing right now. So
That's interesting.
yeah, like every other high schooler, I didn't know.
Right. I think it's wild when a high schooler is like, I know exactly what I want to do. Bro,
Yeah.
4 major changes in college. 4.
That's crazy.
4. I had no clue.
When I was in college, I had this friend of mine. He was 42 years old. And I asked him, "Is this what you want to do?" I'm trying this out.
Dang, that's wild.
I don't.
We'll see.
Yeah.
My wife always says, when I grow up, I'm going to do this. I'm like, wife, you're a grown up. She's like, I'm still growing.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's something that you're passionate about, G?
I've never discussed this.
This is going to be so horrible.
No,
it's going to be good.
So
have faith.
I sincerely, and I don't really say it, but I sincerely have a passion for like art and music.
Really?
Like 100%. I love, but the thing I like about it is what it does to people. I like how someone can look at a picture and it'll make them feel like a million different ways.
Right.
And so one of the things I want to do when I grow up is actually was talking about this. I want to open like a Boys and Girls Club, but specifically for like music and art.
Oh, that's cool.
And I want to like help them like find something that they like, or like help them if they express themselves like on canvas or through an instrument.
Yeah.
And for me, like I play the drums too. I like it.
Okay.
I like playing the like it's amazing, right? But I also like listening to music. Like it's very uncommon to see me without headphones or truck blasting songs because it makes you feel better. It can change you from like. It can even change you from happy to sad.
Right.
The right song,
I agree.
It changes you. You can get from, or like when I'm working out, if something pumps me up, it's usually because of a song. And I'll push something like better than I thought I could, or something like that, right? And with art, it's I don't know. I find a peace in me,
right?
Like a peace. Like there's nothing crazy.
Like super zen.
Like super zen about it. When I'm like painting or when I'm coloring or when I'm doodling or whatever. Like most of my notes that I have for
you write all over.
I draw all over it. I'm very sorry. But
it's a whole thing.
That's how I express my feelings or stuff like that. I think that my passion is
that's
music
dope.
and arts and stuff.
That's
like
really
that.
cool. That's really cool. I have a number of different things that I think I'm passionate about. However, I think the thing that gets me super excited deals with this world of teaching, but it's not teaching. I'm convinced I'm not a great teacher. Content-wise, I don't know what I'm doing. What I love doing is mentoring. I know that the reason why it took me so long to figure out my life was because I didn't have the person to help me. I think my dad would have been that person had he been alive. But because I didn't have that, it took me forever to figure out who I was. I think that working with people to help guide them figure out what they want to do with their life, I get super excited about doing that. I correlate it to teaching because I don't think I'm great at the teaching aspect of it. I think what I'm good at is I think I'm really good at building relationships with people and then like helping them get to the next level. I love doing that, and I think that I think mentorship is undervalued. I think everybody should have a mentor, and if you don't have a professional mentor that you're going to specifically, you need to have people in your pocket that can help you and guide you, even as an adult. There are 3 or 4 people that if I have a decision that I need to make, I will not make that decision without their input. Just see if I'm on the right track, because they know me well. And they've been guiding me for a long time. So it's like if my thought process is way out of line with where they see me going, they'll tell me straight up, like, I don't know about this, Hyman. I'm like, all right, explain to me why. And they'll tell me straight up because we have that relationship. I feel that way with my kids. I feel that way with students. I still have kids to this day that will call me. And I'm like, I don't know. This is what I think you would do. I had a whole conversation with, like literally a day ago with Alyssa Garza. I don't even barely know Alyssa Garza. We met this year. We met like a month and a half ago. And she's like, what do you think? And I was like, listen, we don't know each other. She's like, no, but I respect your decision and I respect your opinion. So we had a whole conversation about school. But I was like excited that she was like, hey, what do you think? And I'm like, let me tell you what I think. Yeah. Blah, blah, blah. We sat there for like 20 minutes just conversating about what I see her doing and what I see that she would be good at. But I love mentorship. I love it. And I think that more people need to have mentors. You need to have people in your pocket in order to be successful. I think that the reason why people go crazy or people make really out-of-pocket decisions is because they don't have the right people telling them the right things. When you have yes people in your pocket, your ego goes out of control. I think that people who...
That's very factual.
That's very factual. I think that people who have good people in their pocket that can tell them the right thing, they end up making the better decisions.
Yeah.
My wife is in that group. My dear friend PC's in that group. A former co-worker of mine named Jake is in that group. I have an older guy that we go to all the time. His name is Scott. He's in that group. Like, these people get the ability to tell me no because they know me well enough to say, hey, this is not who you are, dog. And it's vice versa. If they need it, if they have a question, if they want to talk it out, I'm like, I'm here for you. Let me know. But I think that, again, man, mentorship, dude, I love it. I love being able to work with people. Yeah. If I could do nothing else, if I could figure out a way to make money off of being a mentor, I would do it. You want to pay me? I'm just saying. Not as you want to pay me, I'll pay. Like, give me like $70K and I'll do it.
Yeah.
I love it though. I think, like I said, I think, you know how like the school district has a program where they mentor kids?
Yeah.
I think more school districts need to do that.
Yes.
If people who are at levels where they're professionals, like at an admin level, give your knowledge away, man. What are you going to keep it for?
Yeah.
Help them out. Let them figure it out.
The key is to listen.
Oh.
To the student.
Are you listening?
Yes, I'm listening.
Good job.
Because my personal experience in high school, when I was going through something, they would just talk to me. Yes. And sometimes we don't want to hear. I'm putting myself in the perspective of a student. Sometimes we don't want to hear what you're saying. Right. Let me tell you how I feel. Right. Okay. Because you're not going to know them unless you listen. Right. But me personally, I'm so used to talking to them. I'm starting to listen to what they have to say. Right. And some stories are out there. Right. You know, and sometimes I wish I could help even more so. Like freedom of expression at this point in my graphic design, I give them freedom I give them a little lesson. Now, show me what you can do. Right. They're weirdos.
So sometimes it's out of pocket a little bit.
Yeah, but I'm giving them a chance to express themselves. Right. So it's just about listening and letting them talk to you.
Right. I do think that sometimes adults just want to say like, no, listen, you need to stop and listen.
Exactly.
Can I tell you that as a student, as a son, I hate listening. Like, yeah, no, I'm telling you, no, this is why. And I'm like, why? Because I said so. Right. Like, right. Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
Right. Yeah. I will also say that listening is a skill that not everybody has.
Exactly.
Not everybody has the ability to listen to what somebody else is saying. Yeah. I'm a talker, but like if there's a moment where somebody's asking my advice, I'm gonna say, you give me tell me what you need me to hear first. Let me think about it, and then just understand where I'm coming back from you. Like the information I'm giving you is based off of what you tell me. I'm not just gonna tell you. Now, mind you, I have stories, but like if you were to come to me and be like, man, I have a question I need you to think about. Tell me what it is. Give me every information that you need me to know that I can make a sound, reasonable thought process and give you some insight. Right.
Yeah, yeah. Because listening does help in the long run. Because then you build trust.
Right.
So.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you, man. I agree. Okay. Here's the last point, and you have I know we're getting close. Listen, I got you. We're almost there.
I've been looking at the little timer on this.
We're almost there. All right, this is the last one.
Okay.
And you have a different insight than he and I do.
Okay.
Personally speaking, I think immigration is crazy.
Yeah.
Give me one thing that you think we could do, that the country could do to help make immigration better. Completely way off left field on this topic.
What would you say? Okay.
Yeah. Weird.
I guess explaining it better rather than instilling fear into people.
Oh, that's so good.
Wow.
Dang.
Because
that's good.
Coming from an immigrant family, I think I told you my story.
Yeah.
My parents are from El Salvador, and they moved to Canada as refugees because my mom used to work for the president of the country, and he had death threats. Thereby, the whole office got death threats.
Right.
So we had to like leave.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like 1 or 2 years old. So I consider Canada my home.
Right.
But it's different because when they showed up to Canada, they were scared. One, they didn't know the language.
Right.
Two, even though you're in the country that took you, you still have fear that you want to do things right.
Right.
Yeah.
You're not Canadian.
Exactly.
enough,
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, and you don't know your rights.
Right.
Because you have rights, but if you don't know them,
Right.
then the government will keep you under control.
Mm.
And the important thing is, especially here, what I've seen here from a different eyes is they just put so much fear. That's why people who are immigrants, illegal immigrants here, they're afraid to go to the hospital. They're afraid to get a
Any
different
other-
job,
right.
Any other job, because of that fear. But they haven't explained anything,
Right.
so that's why you're fearful,
Mm.
in my opinion.
That's really good.
Yeah.
That's really good.
It is.
But if they explain it better
Right.
and they give you the ABC of it,
Right. You can do this. You can do that. You can do
Right.
this. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Another thing with the wall, okay, I don't disagree and I don't agree at the same time.
Right.
Only because, there's a lot of people who want to come in and change their lives for the better.
Right.
But there's also a lot of people who want to come in and destroy the life that we have here.
Right.
So
It's a weird.
it's a confusing.
Yeah. I always think of it like this. I go off of eye test in the sense of who I know and what I've been around. I'd venture to say that 95% of the people who are trying to get to the United States just want to do better for their lives.
Yeah.
Is there a 5% that maybe don't? Yeah.
Absolutely.
And it'd be ignorant to say that 100% of the people are trying to do the right thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Where I have an issue, or where I'm like, this is, why does it have to take years and years and years and thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars to become a citizen of the United States? Why? Because United States citizens aren't doing it right either. We are. You can look at crime rate. You can look at statistics of what American citizens do. Like, if you're not here legally, you literally can't jaywalk, or they will send you back.
Exactly.
Even if you're a legal resident, you're restricted on what you can do and what you can't do. My argument is that if we are truly a melting pot that we say we are in this country,
Ooh.
right? If we say we are, why are we making it so difficult for certain people to become citizens? Because I don't care what anybody says, and I've made this argument. If any of my exchange students I've ever had decided not to go home when they were supposed to with their visa, no one's looking for them. Why? Because they're white European people. And I have said this to their face, and they know it's true. But if you are from the African continent, if you are from south of our border, and you are here illegally, people are out to get you.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, using those two groups of people, based off of taxes alone, the U.S. is winning if they're citizens. Based off of taxes alone. Because they're the consuming class.
Yeah.
They're the people that are going to buy everything. They're the people that are going to work the jobs that people don't want. And I'm not saying that that's all they're limited to. What I'm saying is that their ethic says, I'm going to work for mine. So why wouldn't you make it easier for them to be here? Maybe they don't want to 100% assimilate, but I don't have a problem with that. You know what the official language of the United States is? There is none. There's not an official language in the United States. English is not officially the United States language because we're supposed to be a melting pot.
Exactly.
You know, there's like 200 different languages that are spoken in the greater Houston area, from different dialects to different, like, straight up languages. We don't have an official language, so don't tell me that you have to do it in English. Now, does it help? Of course it helps. But you don't have to. Like, all I'm saying is that it should not be this difficult, and it didn't used to be this difficult. This also wasn't that big. Up until like the 60s, this wasn't that big of a deal. Because immigration is usually cyclical. People come and people go. Whenever you decide that there's an issue, we have a border, you can't cross it. Well, then guess what? People are stuck. People who are willing to work cannot come in. And because you've now said that the border is shut off or whatever, those people who would normally come in and leave have to stay. Well, you're creating a problem. Now, if you just make it a little bit easier, It shouldn't take 10 years, and it shouldn't take like $20,000-$30,000. Also, you can vet anybody, fam. You know how easy it is to vet people? It's not that difficult to vet people now. Like maybe in the 70s it was difficult to find out everything about that person. You had to go off of the truth, like assuming that they were right.
Yeah.
Bro, you can find anything about anybody that you want right now on the internet. You can vet them all day. It'll take you like days to vet somebody.
It took me about 8 years to become an American citizen from Canada.
Canada.
Yeah.
Canada.
Also, I have a problem with like situations going on right now. People are okay with taking in Ukrainian refugees, but from other countries, you have a problem with it? I'm just saying. I'm just saying. What's a way? Do you know? Like, answer for you. What's a good way that we think that we can probably help immigration? You got like a minute. Make it quick.
Oh my gosh. No,
this has been a good podcast.
I 100% agree with you. I think that we need to make it easier for the people that want to make their lives better. I 100% believe that there could easily be a system that you could check on that person. Because okay, so I used to live like 5 minutes from the border.
Right.
I know there's bad people coming in.
Right.
But I also know that there's a lot of people that are really trying to leave something behind.
Right.
They want to come over here. They want a better life for themselves, a better life for their family. I've seen mothers cry because they can't bring their child over with them, and I've seen them work months for like hard labor. I've seen people that just, and it's stereotypical, but they'll immediately start cutting grass. And I'm not gonna lie, it's because it's very easy.
Right, it's a quick way to make money.
It's a quick job that a lot of people with money don't want to do.
Right.
I've seen them be carpenters. I've seen them build construction workers, maids. They'll work like the jobs, the hard jobs that nobody really likes, the hard, dirty ones. They'll do it because, like you said, that's their
work ethic. Yeah.
And so for me to see people that try so hard to actually do what America was like made for a better life, to get away from all that crap, is kind of like frustrating. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I don't know. Yeah.
There are things, I think,
there are
again,
people out there.
It's not a pretty, the lobbying system doesn't work that well for them. There's not a lot of money in immigration reform. It's something that most people would say needs to change, but because of the way politics works, it's really hard to make a change toward it. I just know that having conversations with people, that most people will tell you, like, we got to do something different because it's a bit much. It's a bit much.
Yeah.
All right, we have ran so late.
Cue the music.
So we're done today. It was, man, this is so good.
It was a good talk. I liked it.
How did you feel being in front of the camera?
I'm still nervous. But it was good.
It was good.
It was really good.
That was good. All right, we're gonna have another guest next week. We're not too sure what it is. I think we're gonna do student. I have an idea. But those of you who are watching, subscribe, hit the like button, let people know, share it around, post it on your social media. Like, we're just trying to be monetized and not have to, do this for a living.
I don't want to work for this.
Right, we're trying to make millions.
Yeah.
Peace out.
All right, thank you.